Before the neon diner sign flickered to life that evening, Maya was just a quiet woman in a faded uniform. Moments later, she was face down in the cold mud, the cruel laughter of 4 boys ringing in her ears. But they had just made the worst mistake of their lives. Stick around because this story takes a turn so shocking it redefines the word revenge. Subscribe and join us because this is one truth you have to see to believe. The rain had just stopped, leaving the parking lot of the Starline Diner a mosaic of oily puddles and reflected neon. Inside, under the warm glow of chrome and vinyl, Maya moved with a silent, efficient grace. Her uniform, a crisp blue dress with a white apron, was spotless. She refilled coffee cups with a soft murmur, cleared plates with a gentle clatter, and existed in the background of the bustling Friday night crowd like a calming shadow. To the locals in this small heartland town, she was just Maya, the quiet waitress who started 6 months ago, the one with the slight accent that hinted at a life far from here, the one who kept her eyes down and her replies polite and short. She was a mystery, but in a town that preferred simplicity, her mystery was often painted over with assumptions, brushed with casual prejudice and framed by indifference. At table 9 sat the reason the night was about to curdle. 4 young men, seniors from the local high school, swaggering in their blue and yellow Letterman jackets, Riverdale High state football champions. They were kings in a kingdom of 10 square blocks, and they held court with booming voices and a sense of ownership that paid no rent. Their leader was Brett, chiseled blonde with a smile that never touched his cold blue eyes. He was flanked by his lieutenants, Kyle, the bulky lineman, Jaden with a cruel smirk, and Liam, who laughed a little too loudly at everything Brett said. They'd been rude all evening, snapping their fingers, calling her sweetheart and honey in tones that dripped with condescension. Maya had absorbed it all, her expression a placid lake, her responses limited to certainly an "I'll get that for you." The final straw was a spilled milkshake. Brett's elbow slipped as she cleared a neighboring table, sending the thick chocolate viscousness cascading over the front of her pristine apron. "Oops," he said, not looking sorry at all. A slow, mean grin spread across his face. "Clumsy you." The diner quieted for a beat. Small-town grip. The bullying began freshman year's night. Remarks about her thrift store clothes, Freckles, her dad's rusted pickup truck. Chloe, the ringleader, made it personal. Last year, she spread a rumor that Kale's mom, who left when Kay was 5, fled because she was ashamed of her daughter. The lie was a knife to the heart. But Kay swallowed the pain. She always did, keeping her head down, her voice silent. Tonight, though, something felt different. The air crackled with energy, the crowd louder than usual. Willow Creek was down, 14-7 at halftime, and the cheer squad was about to perform. Kay took her place in the formation, her heart thumping like a war drum. Chloe, front and center, led the routine with polished precision. Her every move a challenge. Kay matched her step for step, her body moving on instinct. After weeks of grueling practice, she'd memorized every count, determined not to give Chloe another reason to mock her. But as the music peaked and the squad hit their final pose, Chloe slammed into Kay hard. Kay stumbled, nearly falling, and the crowd gasped. Clue smirked, whispering, "Oops." Clumsy much asterisk. The humiliation seared like a brand. But Kay kept her head down as they left the field. In the locker room, Chloe didn't let up. "God, Kay, you're a walking disaster," she said, her voice loud enough for the whole team to hear. "Just quit. Nobody wants you here." Madison and Tara piled on, their laughter echoing off the metal lockers like gunfire. Kale's hands shook as she packed her bag, but she stayed silent. And she always stayed silent. Outside, the game roared on, but Kay slipped away from the sidelines. She needed air, needed to escape the weight of their words. She headed to the parking lot where an old oak tree near the school's entrance offered a quiet refuge. The gravel crunched under her sneakers. The night air cooled against her flushed skin. Then she heard footsteps. Chloe and her crew had followed her, their silhouettes sharp under the streetlights. "Running away, toothpick," Chloe taunted, arms crossed. "Going to cry to Daddy?" Madison stepped closer, shoving Kaylee's shoulder. "You don't belong here," she spat. Tara grabbed Kale's bag, dumping its contents onto the gravel notebook's pens, a water bottle scattering in the dirt. Brooke kicked the bottle, sending it skidding. Kale's pulse surged, her breath quickening. Something snapped inside, her a spark igniting years of bottled-up rage. Her dad's voice echoed in her mind. "You don't start fights, Kay, but when they come, you finish them." She stood taller, her voice low but steady. "Back off, Chloe." The words shocked even her, slicing through the night air. Chloe laughed, stepping into Kale's space, her breath hot. "Or what?" "Freak." Madison shoved again harder, her hands rough. That was the trigger. Clee's training surged like a reflex, her body moving before her mind caught up. She sidestepped Madison's next push, grabbed her wrist, and twisted it just enough to make her yelp. Madison stumbled, her eyes wide with shock. Chloe lunged, swinging a sloppy punch, but Kay ducked, her movements fluid and precise. Caught Chloe's arm, yanked her forward, and swept her legs out from under her. Clue hit the gravel with a thud, gasping for air. Tara and Brooke froze, their bravado evaporating. "Stay down," Kay said, her voice calm but unyielding. Red-faced and furious, scrambled to her feet and charged again. Kay didn't hesitate. She blocked Chloe's wild swing, drove her palm into Chloe's sternum, and sent her sprawling back into the dirt. The move was clean, surgical, straight from Marcus's playbook. The other girls backed away, their eyes darting nervously. Kay stood over Chloe, her breath steady. I said, "Stay down." By Monday, the school was a cauldron of whispers. Someone had filmed the fight on their phone, and the grainy video spread like wildfire across group chats and social media. Kay, the quiet cheerleader, had taken down Chloe Bennett like she was nothing. The bullies avoided her in the halls, their gazes dropping when she passed. But victory came at a cost. Principal Andrews called Kay into his office, his face stern. Fighting, even in self-defense, violated school policy. She was suspended for a week, and her spot on the cheer squad hung in the balance. Coach Linda, torn between admiration and protocol, said she'd decide Kale's fate after the suspension. Kay braced for her dad's anger, but Marcus just leaned back in his chair at the kitchen table. "You did what you had to," he said, his voice calm. "But this isn't over. People hold grudges." He was right. Chloe's older brother, Jake Bennett, a former football star who'd graduated 2 years ago, caught wind of the fight. At 63 and built like a linebacker, Jake was a Willow Creek legend with a temper to match. Rumors swirled that he was looking for Kay, itching to teach her a lesson for humiliating his sister. Suspension gave Kay time to think. She realized she was done hiding. She threw herself into training, running drills with Marcus at dawn. He taught her advanced techniques to arms, joint locks, moves to take down someone twice her size. "You're small, but you're fast," he said. Cuss at Kale's confidence grew, but so did her sense of responsibility. In the school library, she met Mia, a shy freshman who'd seen the video and approached her hesitantly. Mia was a bullying victim too, her glasses slipping down her nose as she mumbled about wanting to be stronger. Kay saw herself in Mia's nervous eyes and offered to teach her self-defense starting in their backyard. The real storm hit at the town's annual fall festival. A week after Kaylee's suspension ended, the fairgrounds were alive with music, the air thick with the scent of cotton candy and fried dough. Kay was there with Mia, laughing over a shared caramel apple when Jake Bennett appeared. He towered over her, his face twisted with rage. "Think you're tough, huh?" he growled, stepping so close she could smell his cologne. The crowd parted, sensing trouble, their phones already out. Mia clung to Kayla's arm, trembling, but Kay stayed calm, her pulse steady. "I don't want trouble, Jake," she said, her voice even. But Jake wasn't here to talk. Grabbed her shoulder, his grip like a vice. "Big mistake." Kay twisted free, using his momentum to throw him off balance. He stumbled, and before he could recover, she delivered a sharp kick to the back of his knee. Jake crashed to the ground, his pride more bruised than his body. The crowd gasped, then erupted in cheers. Kay hadn't just defended herself. She'd rewritten her story in front of the entire town. The video of Jake's takedown went viral, not just in Willow Creek, but across the country. Local news picked it up, dubbing her the cheerleader who fights back. Kay became a sensation, her story shared on social media by thousands. Girls like Mia started showing up at her house asking for lessons. Kay turned her backyard into a makeshift dojo, teaching self-defense to anyone who asked. Even Chloe, her ego battered, but her curiosity piqued, approached her one day. "I was wrong," she muttered, barely meeting Kayle's eyes. "Can you teach me?" Kay paused, then nodded. This wasn't about revenge. It was about moving forward. Asterisk by spring. Kay was back on the cheer squad, not as a background dancer, but as co-captain. Coach Linda, moved by the videos and Kaylee's resilience, made the call. The bullies had vanished. Some graduated, others too ashamed to show their faces. Marcus watched from the stands at the next game, his quiet pride brighter than the stadium lights. Kay had taken their taunts, their schvies, and turned them into strength. She wasn't just a cheerleader. She was a force. Kayle's influence didn't stop there. Her backyard classes outgrew her lawn, drawing girls from neighboring towns. Sarah Tate, a former kickboxing champion who owned a local martial arts gym, saw Kayle's viral videos and offered her a job as an instructor. Kay hesitated. She was still a junior with homework and cheer practice, but Marcus urged her on. "This is your fight now," he said. "Lead it." Kay took the job, balancing school, cheer, and teaching. Her classes became a sanctuary for girls like Mia, who stood taller with every punch they threw. Chloe joined too, their truths uneasy but growing into respect. Kayle's blog packed with self-defense tips and stories of overcoming fear went viral in schools across Ohio. Invited her to speak. Then came a twist that shook Kayle's world. While cleaning the attic for Marcus, she found a dusty box of letters from her mom, Lisa. The letters never sent revealed. Lisa hadn't left because of Kay. She'd been battling addiction, ashamed of her own failures, and left to shield Kay from her chaotic life. The truth hit like a punch, but it freed Kay. She wasn't the reason her mom left. She was the reason Lisa hoped to get better. Kay tracked Lisa down, now sober and living in Cleveland. Tentative, tearful, but a start. Lisa joined one of Kayle's classes, watching her daughter with awe. Kayle's story kept soaring. A national talk show invited her to share her journey, and she walked onto the set with Mia and Chloe by her side, a testament to her impact. But the real game changer came when Kayle's classes caught the attention of a nonprofit dedicated to empowering young women, offered to fund a statewide program based on her model with Kay as its ambassador. Nervous but determined, she accepted, working with Sarah to expand the gym into a second location. Her blog evolved into a platform with thousands of followers, sharing stories of girls who'd found their strength. Lisa became a regular at the gym, helping with outreach and rebuilding their bond. Kay even faced a new challenge, a rival gym owner who doubted her skills, challenging her to a friendly sparring match at a regional expo. Kay won, not with brute force, but with the precision Marcus taught her, earning respect from skeptics. She wasn't just fighting bullies anymore. She was building a movement one punch at a time. Willow Creek, once a cage, was now her launch pad. And as the crowd roared at the next game, Kay Harper smiled. Not the timid smile of a girl fading into shadows, but the fierce grin of someone who'd claim her place. She dropped her bullies just like her dad taught her. She was only getting started. Hey viewers, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know which part of the country you're